BBC boss Tim Davie has set out his stall for charter renewal. He told delegates that the BBC is venture capital for the UK.
I dare say no one has ever previously thought of the BBC as a venture capital operation, but I do think we have to start thinking of it like that. If that is the sort of language that is going to get government and people to take it seriously and realise that we do have an asset that no other country on earth has. We are surrounded by media that is set out to take the BBC down. You know, Tim Davie does articulate things in very understandable terms for the people that are the decision makers.
There's part of me that cringes at the thought of thinking about it like that, but I can see how it makes sense as a tactical use of language. I often think of the media correspondents at a lot of the other newspapers, almost less media correspondents and more anti-BBC correspondents. If you can get a story where you can hammer the BBC, and of course the BBC will then cover it themselves ridiculously over the top often. That thing about we all own the BBC, I thought was a more useful one. If you frame it as a company too much, then you get into that thing of, I was looking back to Jeremy Paxman was leaving the BBC, and he was sort of almost arguing, why do we even have Radio 1? There are commercial radio stations, don't need Radio 1. If you frame it as a business too much, then your competitors can have an argument saying, well, if you're a business, be a business like the rest of us. That's a worry, I think.